Hi, hello people, welcome back to our channel Visualize with Vinny. And in today's video, we are going to move to GS2 part of the syllabus. And I think in this video, we will generally look at only the syllabus and the decoding, because GS2 syllabus is generally a vast syllabus in nature. So I think within the given time period, I will only be able to discuss about this syllabus. So without any further delay, let's get into the video, and I will try as much as to complete the video within 20 to 25 minutes. And if it is not possible to complete the syllabus, I think I will break the video into two, and tomorrow maybe I'll post you the second part of the decoding of the syllabus of GS2. So this is all from my side for today, and I hope you all are preparing with great enthu. Keep preparing, keep aspiring. As I already said, no matter whatever comes in your way, try your hard and keep preparing. And without any further delay, let's get into the topic. GS2. So the general topics that are covered in GS2 is governance, constitution, polity, social justice, international relations. These are the 5 subjects that are covered under GS2. Once again, I repeat: polity, constitution, governance, social justice, international relations. So these are the 5 broad headings under the syllabus, and under this we have lot of subtopics of the syllabus. For example, if you take in Indian Constitution, there are a lot of syllabus, and I already said you, as for GS1 we downloaded the decoded syllabus from Drishti or Byju's or whatever you're comfortable with, I said. So for this also, please download anything from the internet. So I have downloaded from Drishti the decoded syllabus. So we will talk about that syllabus in detail. I will also share this in the group, the decoded syllabus in the group, so that you can have a look. So the first topic is Indian Constitution. And under the Indian Constitution, you will learn about the historical underpinnings, evolution, features, amendments, significant provisions, basic structure. So in Constitution part, that is one part of the syllabus, deals with 5 subheadings: historical underpinnings, evolution, features, amendments, significant provisions, basic structure. So totally 6 parts. And how should you learn this historical underpinnings is, if you are learning Lakshmikant book, the first chapter of the book itself deals with this historical underpinnings. That is a different act. See, the Constitution is not a document that has come out suddenly. It is nothing but a compilation of the documents, or the compilation of the work that of all the acts that the British undertook. So what are all the acts before the Constitution, and what are all the provisions that we took from certain acts? For example, Government of India Act 1935 is a major act from which we took lot of provisions. So these are all will be given in the first part of the syllabus under the title historical underpinnings itself. So that is what you are going to learn under this topic. And apart from that, you will also learn about the Constituent Assembly, the objective resolution they undertook. These are the basic kind of things that you will learn under the historical underpinnings. And the second one is the evolution of the Constitution. And in evolution of the Constitution, also the same thing, you will understand how the Constitution slowly evolved. For example, even the historical background, you can relate GS1 and GS2, modern history of how the cabinet mission at the end got success. The Cripps mission was a failure, then gave the Wavell plan, it was a failure, we didn't have a constitution, and in the end the cabinet mission was approved and the constitution came. So this is the slowly evolving process of how a constitution came into picture, where we ourselves designed a constitution for ourselves. That was a demand made by the Indian National Congress, that British shouldn't make any law for us, we should make our own constitution, and according to the cabinet plan only we had this. This is the evolution process. So that is what you will learn under the evolution in detail. And the third one is features. You have a separate chapter in Lakshmikant which talks about the salient features of the Indian Constitution, like the Indian Constitution is a written constitution. It is a blend of both rigidity and flexibility. parliament sovereignty is present in the constitution, independence and integrated judiciary. So you have like this, I guess, from 13 to 14 points you have in the salient features of the Indian constitution. So you will learn about that in detail, and about that only they will ask in the question paper. And next part of the syllabus talks about the amendments, and in the amendments you will learn only the significant amendments of the constitution. For example, there have been question about NJAC, that is the 99th amendment of the National Judicial Appointments Committee, which is affecting the basic structure, separation of power. So maybe you will not understand it when I say it now, but remember only these keywords. As and when you start preparing, you will slowly understand what I'm talking about if you are a fresher. And if you have already been preparing for these examinations, you will definitely understand what I'm talking about. So for freshers, if I have to go slow, learn only the significant amendments. What are the significance? How will you know it? Through the previous year question paper as well as the newspaper. The repeated amendments that is in news is an important amendment. This is how you will understand what is significant amendment of the constitution. And what is an amendment to the constitution is nothing but the changes you make is called as an amendment. So any change made to the constitution is an amendment. So what are the important changes made to the constitution? You will learn under the amendment. And next it is the significant provisions of the constitution. What are the significant provisions of the constitution? Generally article 12 to 51A, that is the fundamental rights, all the fundamental rights, the fundamental duties, the DPSP, directive principle of state policy, and then the judicial review is an important area. Separation of powers, universal adult franchise. These are some of the significant provisions which is present in the Indian constitution. So like these, what are all the significant provisions? You have to learn that. And then you have basic structure. And in the basic structure, what are all covered in the basic structure? If there are important judgments on basic structure, you will learn that. So these are the kind of things that you will learn under constitution. So in constitution, we have learned about the 6 subtopics, about historical underpinnings, the different acts, how it started evolving. We have learned that. We have learned about the salient features of the Indian constitution. We have learned about the amendments. We have learned about the significant provisions of the constitution and the basic structure. So I have given a general idea of what to learn under these topics. So these are the basic kind of things you should understand. So this is the basic meaning of the words that is given in the syllabus. So based on this, you will look at the question paper and understand what are the repeated topics that have been asked under this, and based on that we will prepare as usual. So the second one, polity. And in polity, there is a very wide kind of subtopic itself. Functions and responsibilities of union and states comes under polity. Issues and challenges pertaining to federal structure comes under polity. Devolution of powers and finances to local levels and challenges therein comes under polity. Separation of powers between various organs comes under polity. Dispute redressal mechanisms and institutions also comes under polity. And comparison of the Indian constitutional scheme with that of the other countries. Separation of powers between various organs comes under polity, as I already said. Then comparison of Indian constitutional scheme with other countries, parliament and state legislature, structure, organization and functioning of executive and judiciary also comes under polity. Ministries and departments of government comes under polity. Pressure groups, formal or informal associations and their role in polity. Salient features of representation of People's Act also comes under polity. Appointment to various constitutional posts also comes under polity. Statutory, regulatory and quasi-judicial bodies also comes under polity. So almost like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 subtopics which are coming under Indian polity. So Indian polity is a very vast kind of subjects where you have to learn about a lot of subtopics. But trust me that this is the most interesting and easy subject to grasp and learn. So once you start learning this and mastering this, it will easily fetch you marks. So don't be scared to learn because there is a lot of things. It is very easy to learn. As you progress, you will understand that. So I will tell you, similar to the first topic of Indian Constitution, what you have to learn under all these topics. For example, in functions and responsibilities of union and states, what are you supposed to learn? So the functions of the union and states is clearly given in the 7th schedule. What does 7th schedule of the Constitution talk about? The separation of powers, like between union and states. You have 3 lists in the 7th schedule, as you all know. Union list. So what are all the subjects that the union covers? What are the functions of the union? And in the second one, you have state list, where what are all the activities that state will undertake will be there. And in concurrent list, what will be there? What are all the activities that both state and the center will can take. Both can take action on these subjects. So basically the 7th schedule is what is the thing you will learn under the functions and responsibilities of union and states. And apart from this, you have a separate topic in the Lakshmikant about the legislative function and the administrative functions and other quasi-judicial functions of center and state. So you will learn those kind of things. And then the issues and challenges pertaining to the federal structure. So what is federalism? Federalism means the sub-government. So the federal itself means the sub-government or the subdivision. So there will be a higher body, below it a lower body, below it a lower body. So this kind of system is called as federal system. For example, in India we have central government, state government, local government. So it is a federal system that is happening in India. So what are the issues that are pertaining to this federal structure? For example, I think a basic question that we all know is the financial problem. So union will have lot of resources, state will not have those resources. Recently the GST problem, where states are asking for GST compensation, telling that center has not given to them properly. So these are all the issues that are happening between the federal system. So the issues like what are all the issues in the center-state relations, be it financial problems, legislative problems, administrative problems, or any other trend that is happening. For example, the interstate water dispute. For example, you can take union and the state. In union and state, you also have cooperation between the states, right? So for example, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, you have the interstate disputes and water disputes. For that, what all you have? Interstate council you have, interstate water tribunal you have. So all these things will be covered under this federal structure and issues pertaining to it. GST will cover under it. The cooperative and comparative federalism, that is a recent term that is going on, that also will be covered under it. The zonal councils will be covered under it. Emergency provisions will be covered under it, because under emergency what happens? Automatically actually we are following a federal system. When a national emergency is imposed, suddenly we become unitary in nature, which means that all the federal government will vanish off. The center will take off the entire control. So this is the only provision where without enacting any amendment or anything, suddenly when emergency is imposed, we turn into a unitary structure, and that is a special feature of the Constitution. So which will cover under the first topic we discussed, Indian Constitution features. So that also you will learn the role of governor, who will act as a liaison between the center and the state. You will learn that, and reports of various committees regarding the federal structure and the issues pertaining to the federal structure. For example, the second ARC report, the Punchi Commission, Sarkaria Commission. So these are all the things you will learn with respect to issues and challenges pertaining to the federal structure. And in the next one, devolution of powers and finances to local level and challenges therein. So as I already said, apart from the state and central government, with the 73rd and 74th amendment, we have local government also. That is nothing but the panchayat and the municipality. So what happens? Similar to the finance commission we have. So what does the finance commission do? It will allocate funds from center to the state government. Similarly, we have state finance commission. What do? They allocate funds from state to the local government, that is to the panchayat and the municipality. So you will learn about all these things. Devolution of powers and finances to local government. You will learn about the state finance commission, state election commission, which is conducting election in panchayat and the other bodies, regarding the 11th and 12th schedule, the PESA Act, and more kind of news on panchayats and municipalities is something you will learn under this topic. And the devolution of powers, how is the power devolved? Devolved means how is the power let out from the state to the local governments. And then you have the separation of powers between various organs. This is an important thing because it is a unique feature or a special feature of the Indian Constitution. So doctrine of separation of power you will learn, and what are the separation of power kind of things mentioned in the Constitution. You should learn about it, and what are all checks and balances we have. Any cases relating to this checks and balances, is it specified? These are all the things you will learn under the separation of powers between various organs, because often there will be a problem because there is a term called, for example, if you take, there is a term called as judicial overreach, which means that overreach means doing excess of something. So judiciary has a role, it has to do only that. But sometimes what happens, judiciary will go one step above and ask the executive to do certain kind of work, or does the executive kind of work. That we will call it as judicial overreach. Similarly, there is a kind of fine balance between the legislature, executive and judiciary. So everybody has to perform their own role. For example, nowadays the law minister is saying that executive should have a role in appointing judges. So what are the judges telling? No, there is a separation of power. Executive shouldn't come inside the judiciary. So these are all the kind of things you will learn under this topic. And then you have the dispute redressal mechanisms and institutions like PIL, public interest litigation. It is a dispute redressal. Dispute redressal means problem solving mechanisms. And then another dispute redressal body is tribunals. So you need not go directly to the court. You can go to tribunals dealing with specific matter. Example, the National Green Tribunal, or for administration we have Central Administrative Tribunal. For example, this year CSAT questions, lot of people filed case at Central Administrative Tribunal for faster justice or speedy justice. So these are all the things you will learn under this topic. And next it is comparison of Indian constitutional scheme with that of other countries, mainly British America. So we have adopted lot of procedures from lot of countries. So based on this you will have a topic and the differences between countries. For example, in India we have a certain kind of system that is followed. For example, the president will be in the parliament, right? So generally the Parliament of India, when you talk about Parliament of India, what are all there? There is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and also the president. Remember, also the president. These three people will come under the Parliament of India. But when you talk about Britain, the president will not be there. The crown, you will talk about the crown. And when you talk about America, you will have, and see, in India we don't elect president, but in America they elect president as well as prime minister. So these are the different kinds of things that is present in the constitution, right? So these are the things that you will learn under comparison of the constitution with respect to different countries. And we have a written constitution, a book, the Indian Constitution. In Britain we don't have a written constitution, so they act by laws of the crown, right? So these are the differences. So these differences you will learn in detail. Whenever you're learning, we will go into that topic in depth after getting into the question paper. And then Parliament and state legislature, with respect to that you will learn about the structure of the parliament, functioning of the parliament, what are all the different functions of the parliament. For example, law making is a basic function of the parliament. Apart from it also, it plays a major role in all the other things. We will learn about it. And then what is the structure of the parliament, what are the kind of business, what are the powers that are available to the parliament. So whoever is there in the parliament, what are his powers. For example, speaker, what are the powers of the speaker, is there any issue with respect to speaker's powers, anti-defection, etc. You will learn only in this parliament and state legislature topic. And then you will learn about the structure, organization, functioning of executive and judiciary. So till now we were talking about the parliament. Now we are talking about the executive and judiciary. So when I talk about executive, you are supposed to learn about the union executive. So who are union executive members? President, Prime Minister, under him Council of Ministers, and then the Cabinet Secretariat to help them. So these are all the union members. union executive members. Similarly, for the state, you will learn about the chief minister, his council of ministers, and the governor, and for them you have a secretariat. Similarly, when it comes to judiciary, you will learn about Supreme Court, High Court, the local courts, Chief Justice of India, judge jurisdiction, the judicial review, etc. kind of things you will learn under the judiciary. So executive and judiciary you will learn. Then ministries and different departments of government, you know, right? Different ministries, the cabinet ministers, parliamentary secretaries, etc. So don't need to learn or go in depth of it. So based on the question paper we will see. But now what I am telling you is how to decode the syllabus or how to understand the syllabus is what I am talking about. So next it is pressure groups and formal or informal associations and their role in polity. So who are pressure groups? Pressure groups, so the word itself says that who creates a pressure or who creates a movement towards certain kind of things. For example, if I want to give you a classy example of it, recently we know that you know, the agriculture law came out. 3 agricultural law came out. What happened? Immediately the agricultural union members all across the North India started protesting. So they created a pressure against the government. So they as a pressure group influenced the government in removing that law itself. Similarly, there are some kind of group asking for a law and they will bring that law because of the trade union. For example, certain teachers will go for a protest and they will become a law. Right, so these are all the pressure groups that is active in the society who will have a role in lawmaking, that is polity. So that is what you will learn under this pressure group. What are the different methods they use or what are the shortcomings of the pressure group. So all these things you will learn under this topic. And then appointment to various constitutional bodies. So constitutional bodies are very important and those in news are essentially important, and those that are asked in previous year question paper focus only on that. Other things learn only the basic things. So example of constitutional bodies are Election Commission, UPSC. So what are all the bodies which is mentioned in constitution is constitutional bodies. And apart from this, what are the other bodies? Statutory bodies, that is by law, whatever body they make, they are called as statutory bodies. And quasi-judicial bodies, there are a lot of bodies, like for example Lokpal, Lokayata, these are all made by act. For example, you have the Lokpal and Lokayata Act of 2013. By that only they will come. So they are all the statutory bodies. So you have so many statutory bodies. Learn only what is more of the kind in news or more of the issue that is affecting whole of India or the previous year question paper. Based on it we will infer and we will learn that. So these are the basic things that is covered under the basic 2 topics of constitution and polity. So I already said that this syllabus decoding itself is very huge, and that is why it has taken like 20 to 23 minutes as such. So I will stop here. I don't want to burden you with a lot of facts. So know only this, and I want you to segregate questions for these topics alone. So make it possible. So maybe tomorrow we will go into the next topic of governance, international relations and social justice and talk on those syllabus and decode the question paper from 2013 to 2023. Maybe I will give you a reference sample just like I gave you in GS1 of the Indian art and culture and Indian society. Like that I will give you a general framework of any one subject from 2013 to 2023 if possible, or we'll tomorrow cover only the syllabus, the remaining part, because it is very important. So I hope you are all preparing, and keep aspiring, keep preparing, don't waste time. And that is all from my side for today. The syllabus alone we have decoded because it is very huge. So that is from me, and meet you in another video. And thank you and thanks for your support. Like, share, comments, and do like, share and comment if you like, and do participate in the Telegram group. And I've already asked if there are some people from from Nilgiris, because I'm basically from Nilgiris. If you are there, please do post it in the Telegram group, because maybe we can plan for some activities together of learning together. So I just have a plan of it, but not a huge plan, but I thought of sharing it to you. And keep preparing, keep aspiring, and see you in another video. Bye bye.